Good morning and welcome back to Coffee and Cocktails with
me,
Instagram
Victoria,
channel, everywhere, Gemma.
So today we are going to be talking about how we believe that we should stop charging by the hour, and really, like worldwide, countrywide, starting to move towards charging for our worth and the value that we bring, because I think the whole hour thing is very detrimental to mothers, because you only have so many hours, but yet you can do as much in those 5 hours as you probably could do in 8. So
and if you're getting the job done that you're employed to do, why does it matter if it takes you? Obviously some jobs you have to be there, we understand that. Nurses can't just go home.
Teachers, done that.
And even sometimes on the end of the phone, you need the phones to be manned. But I'm working in jobs and having my work done by lunchtime, and then having 4 hours staring into space, and all I want to do is go home and clean, just because it was more entertaining and
so it's almost like, I think we value people's time on, so it's and we do, like, we set an hourly rate and this is what you do, and I know from employing people that I would rather know that for that amount of money I get this job done rather than an ongoing hourly rate. So from an employer's point of view, I think it works better, because I know that I'll get a tick list, and I also know that there are days when I work really slowly and there are days when I can get it done by 10 o'clock. Don't you know? So I think that
if you're paid per job, definitely.
That's up to you if you want to sort of. And I also think that we're in a situation where lots of employees, and I used to, when I used to have a job, like, you would maybe drag out the task that you had to do because
you want to be bored.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, definitely.
And from an employer's point of view, actually, wouldn't you rather just all the tasks just be yep done and not have them drag on?
To be fair, I've always said I don't understand the concept of the hourly rate and being in an office 9 to 5 when you don't need to be, if you can get your job done in 4 hours. Because while you're there, you're costing them electric, you're costing them heating, especially like during the winter, the cold months. I just don't understand the logic. And then to think that actually, if I was going to say, well, can I only work half a day, you're still getting that job done for them. But they would actually deduct your wages. It just, the whole thing doesn't make sense.
No, because you're not rewarded for smart thinking.
No,
and
definitely not.
There's so many tools out there that you can use to quicken up your time. But if you're working in your own business, then time is money, and you try and save as much time as you can. But if you're paid by the hour, there's no incentive to look for ways to make your job quicker, because you're doing yourself out of
work,
a job. It should be encouraged, that sort of thinking.
Definitely.
Like that.
And I just think the more, if you can work smarter and you have a bit more downtime, you're going to be more productive anyway. I just think that the moment society is a very 9 to 5. By the time people get home, 6 o'clock, had tea, there is no time for quality time or family life, and I just think it's wrong.
It is wrong.
It is wrong.
We're both on the same page. It's wrong, and you're right, because 9 to 5, so the mornings are horrendous getting everybody out the door. You arrive at your desk really frazzled. Would you work more productively 10 till 5 if you had an hour meditating or doing exercise? Actually, would you get more done in the hours 10 till 5 than you would 9 to 5 because you had that time for you?
Yeah.
Or would you get everything you needed done by 4 if you finished at 4? Like, that's the whole, like, we're stuck with those hours, and we're just judging people's value on the time they're giving, and time's so precious.
Yeah.
And there's so many ways out there that you can work smarter and save time. But
especially now with like technology, there's so many apps and platforms you can use that actually help you work smarter. But in a way, you're doing yourself out of work. But if you know how to utilise those tools, not even tools, some people just have practiced certain skills and techniques so many times that they have developed ways that they can work smarter and quicker. And then how is that fair to pay them the same money?
Or even less. So if someone manages to get the same job done in half the time, they'd earn half.
Gosh,
They'd earn half as much as the person that decides to be really slow about it. Like, it doesn't. And I think as a mum, if you're trying to work between the school run and the jobs are 9 to 5, there's very few jobs that are 9:30 to 2:30, because people want full time. But I know that if you've got your head down and you can achieve more than 8 hours. There is a whole movement. There's books in there, 4-hour work week and stuff, where it proves that you can get as much done in a very small amount of time.
Yeah, and a lot of your time, to be fair, if you work in an office, is walking to the kettle, and a chat with the person next to you. Those relentless team meetings that discuss the job that you know you're doing.
I just feel it needs to be something needs to happen to sort of say, okay, that's the old way of thinking. We didn't know any better. We do know better now.
Yeah.
And that sort of leads on to what we're doing with Coffee and Cocktails, doesn't it? Like so just we've been thinking about this a lot, really.
We have, yeah. So we don't think you should work per hour.
It's per
9
task.
to 5 per task, yeah. So if it takes you 10 minutes, you've earned the money. If it takes you half an hour, it takes you half an hour. But it's being paid for a job, and whether you can do that well.
And as an employer or as a business, so if we wanted stuff done, I'd rather know that we're paying X amount of pounds and that job's done, rather than by the hour, because that can sometimes end up it's not really win-win on any. It's lose-lose. I think it's lose-lose, the hourly model, on both sides of the party. I don't think anybody wins. Do you?
No.
No. So that's sort of part of the campaign, I think, behind what we want to achieve, isn't it? It's
Definitely.
because I think if we can start to move towards that, then it's in the mum's favours, because then I think then flexible working becomes a lot more viable, because people aren't worried about, are you doing the hours I'm paying for you, or are you putting your washing out? As long as the work's being done.
In. Yeah, so if you've got like a list of things that you need to get done, and you've priced, lots of builders work that way, don't they, in other industries. So you price the job, and if it takes you 6 weeks to do that job, that's up to you. But if you can get it done in 3,
then
good for you, because you can take on another job. So no, I think it'll just be it's just such a better way of working.
Yeah.
It's definitely
And then you can do this, and then the flexible working, you can as a mum catch up in the evening, which you just can't in the 9 to 5. There's just no room. And flexible working, that's still, even if you're working at home doing those hours, you're still trying to cram, and then you might feel guilty if you've got something done earlier. And
I always assumed it'd be so much easier when the children went to school, that I'd have all these hours every day. But I tell you what, because I'm more time at the school, especially this time of year.
This time of year is. And I think, because I was thinking this morning actually, because we set Coffee and Cocktails up like 6 weeks ago, or maybe 7 now, I don't know. And actually this is like the busiest time of the year. So I'm really excited about coming back after some holidays, because I think we'll really be able to sort of focus on it against Christmas then.
There's always something.
There's always something.
And it's Easter.
But I think because we're just working on the tasks, aren't we? We don't, because we're working together, we're not going, well, how many hours, we're just like getting the stuff done. Yeah. And we're so much more effective, I think, because of it.
Definitely. And I think especially if you know your strengths, and so you'd say, actually, I can't do that one, but we can find so and so to do that for this amount of money, and I can take on this. So it almost opens up. You're finding the best from your staff and your workforce, rather than saying, well, this is your job, you have to do it. Like some jobs are so restrictive in their the title and the way they work. I just don't understand why it's still this way.
But then we're in this country, or in this world, I don't know, but from my experience in this country, we're so focused on the norm, and this is the way it's always been done, and the ability to think outside the box is just not there.
Though I think people are catching on.
I think so, yeah. But those companies that have been around for such a long time, like that's always the way they've done it.
And they do seem to like people being there 9 till 5 or 8 till 6. It feels very much ownership-ish. That so you work for me, you are here, I have the majority of your time
during that time.
Yeah. Whereas actually, as a business, to say, I want you to give me the best you can, and I want to utilise your skills, would be just a much better way.
Everybody
of
wins
taking a business forward. Yeah.
Everyone wins. So that is our proposal. That is our campaign. I think that's it. So we'd love to hear what you think. Do you think that we should move towards like being paid for the job? And actually, if you're willing to think smart, you can save yourself some time and earn the same money. Or do you like the being paid by the hour? I think so. We'd love to hear from you in the comments. Do let us know. And thanks for tuning in.
See you next time.